Hello and a very good morning to Professor Lee. My name is Siti Sarah binti Muhammad Sohaimi with the student ID of 2022-19041. So for the last International Business English Conversation 1, I'm gonna do the topic of my presentation will be the effect of Hallyu on tourism industry in South Korea. So let's begin with the first page which is my table of content. So my table of content, I'm going to talk about 6 things today is introduction, my body, and also in the end is my conclusion. So let's move on into introduction. So my first topic will be have 3 key points, which is when does it start? So do you know when Hallyu obsession started? It's actually begin when the drama of Winter Sonata went really famous in China. So the Hallyu term actually existed because of the Chinese people refer that to Korean obsession due to the Korean entertainment. And due to that, many of the fans wanted to visit South Korea because of their favorite artists. Like they want to visit the drama side and everything. So the impact for this is become a global obsession and culture phenomena, and everything that being or started in South Korea become really famous outside of the globe itself. So the benefit of this situation, firstly, are the way brought a Korean artists and performers, and their fame attracted the visitors to visit the country and increase the tourism industry. So what is the purpose of today's presentation? So the purpose of today's presentation is actually to understand in detail the Hallyu effect on tourism industry. So let's begin into my first body content, which is growth trend of Hallyu towards tourism industry. And the question of today's first presentation is, how does the Hallyu effect interact with the tourist business? So the story began of the globalization of the tourism industry. Did you know that tourism become one of the world's fastest growing industry in the last 60 years in South Korea? And the income actually quadrupled after the Hallyu effect happening to up to 40.2 million. And the Hallyu effect also pushed sectors such as entertainment, food, skincare, and many more, so they become a focus of the tourists and actually fulfill the demand of the international visitors. Apart from that, we know that international collaboration investment happened from the Hallyu effect. UNICEF chose BTS as their ambassador now, and Netflix also created more Korean drama. So with that collaboration and international investment come that help to build Korean economy. Moving on into my second point, contribution of Hallyu to tourism industry. And interestingly, actually one of the effect is the inbound demand are increasing. More Korean people are wanted to visit their famous attraction that have in their countries. This has happened due to the success of the Korean films, music band, and television dramas. And apart from that, we can see from the positive effect of GDP. So 2015, the travel and tourism sectors actually contributed for 1.5% of the national GDP, and that's also an increase of total employment, which is 2.2%. And the growth of South Korea series are expected to expand for 3.3% and 1.8 billion annually. And the Korean government also helped and planned that tourist revenue will reach about 35 billion USD one of the year of 23, which is an amazing achievement towards the tourism industry in South Korea. So the last point of my today presentation is Hallyu and K-pop as marketing tactics. As a matter of fact, K-pop are now the god of cultural marketing. Either because of the Hallyu effect is being utilized to actually sell the tourism industry. So KTO, or Korean Tourism Organization, actually utilize this to promote a better image of South Korea. And the type of marketing that they do is usually creating a movie-like places for the international tourists to visit. And apart from that, they also use the K-pop artists as ambassador to promote their cultural places, interaction, and many more. And lastly, KTO also arranged a cultural festival which has attracted many students like me to go and have fun in the festival. So as a conclusion, we can see that the Hallyu effect have created an image for South Korea and especially the tourism industry, and it also generated a desire for the international tourists to visit South Korea and experience the culture itself. And this effect can be visibly seen in how the growth trend and the contribution and the marketing technique. So that's all for me. I will say my major thank you and gratitude to Professor Lee. And I hope you have a great break after this. Thank you so much, Professor.